Hey everybody out there in Facebook land. We're so excited today to bring you our segment, our event for today. This is AKA D-Champ, AKA Bubbly, with my co-host, AKA V-Rich, AKA Spirit. And we're here today for the amazing event that we've been talking about all week. We hope you guys are in the room. We want you to stay with us. And I'm going to turn it over to my girl Spirit right now so she can tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do today. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you so much. We are so excited to have such a great premiere event planned for you today. I hope you have your passports ready and you packed your wine bottles and wine glasses. Well, you don't need your wine bottles, but you need your wine glasses. So please, make sure you mute your microphones and turn off your cameras until after we invite you back into the Zoom room. But you can also stay with us streaming live on Facebook. We have our technical director, Curtis, joining us, and he will be monitoring the chat room. So if you have any questions or you want to know more information, please put your messages in the chat room. Today we have for you, we started the wine chat just to make sure that we had an opportunity to just learn more about wine. And we wanted to share that experience with other people who may want to learn more about wine. So today we have a special event. Bill and Lorrie found us on Facebook through the wine chat, and we're gonna let them introduce themselves. And they brought us to Roberto from MaDonna Bella Winery in Tuscany. So if you didn't bring your passport, it's okay this time, but next time make sure you bring your passport. Bill and Lorrie, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you met Roberto.
Go ahead.
Well, we are Bill and Lorrie, and we retired from careers in education, and we absolutely love to travel. We were planning our first trip to Italy and watched an episode of Rick Steves' Europe, which featured this gentleman, a wonderful tour guide we came to discover, Roberto. Upon completing the show, I said to Lorrie, we absolutely need to take a tour with Roberto.
And we did.
And we did. We managed to get that scheduled, and we met him, and over the years, we've become very good friends. And he is one of the owners of MaDonna Bella Farm, which has this wonderful winery. Also, they produce olive oil, and it is an absolute pleasure to introduce him to you, Mr. Roberto Bechi, and I'll let him take it away from here.
So Roberto, are you able to hear us? Roberto looks like he is in the process of coming back online, but during this opportunity, we will be able to share with you a coupon code where we will be able to have Roberto maybe ship some wines to you for a purchase, and you can also enjoy these fabulous wines. If you followed our page, you probably experienced Deb and I's experience with Roberto's wine earlier this week. How did you enjoy the wine, Deb? I'm sorry, you're not Deb today, you're Bubbly.
Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, we enjoyed the Bianco from MaDonna Bella Vineyards in Tuscany, and it was absolutely exquisite. We were going to post all of the different wines that Roberto share, and we'll have you guys to order and with our coupon code. But the wine was absolutely exquisite, and I don't know, Italy is.
It looks like Roberto is connecting again with us. So we'll give him an opportunity to get set up. But in the meantime, we just want to let you know that the Wine Chat is going to be a place where you can come and relax and have a good time. And we're going to just explore different regions of wine. Today, we're partial to Italy. We know there are more wines out there. We will explore California wines. We'll try to invite special guests. And not only that, we'll have an opportunity for people to share with us their entrepreneur ideas and any thing that they would like to get out there. We like to make this a platform where people can just exchange cultural ideas, exchange business ideas, and just get together, have fun and relax, and know that you come to a safe place. And
yes,
that's
we're oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Spirit.
go ahead, Bubbly.
Yes, as Spirit said, we are a no judgment zone. You don't have to have alcoholic wine. You can bring your beautiful bottles of non-alcoholic wine that we have posted on our Facebook page at the Wine Chat. So check out all of our resources on the Wine Chat page that we provide for you guys. And we, again, like as Spirit said, we're going to try to bring things to you from around the world and bridge the gap of all of these cultural differences. And yeah, we love you guys. So thank you for joining us today. Take it away again, Spirit. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we hear you. Thank you, Roberto.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
it's
Meanwhile,
fine.
I'm sorry that I have this technical problem. I don't know why, but the computer is not working, so I got the cellular phone. So I hope that works until we get the computer back.
No worries. We see and hear you fine.
Okay,
So,
that's good. That's good.
Go
So
ahead, take it away.
should I talk a little bit about myself?
Yes, please.
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for inviting me. I'm thanking you, Bill and Lorrie, but also these beautiful ladies that you are seeing. We got, to get friends because we have been talking for a while. And basically, I was born in Siena in Tuscany. And 33 years ago, I got the luck that I used to own a restaurant in the main square of Siena, and a beautiful American woman just walked in. Honestly, I thought it was the catch of the day, but was not. It was going to be my wife. So now for 30 years, we have been married. I'm married with an American. My English is not good enough yet, but I hope you understand me. I own a winery. I'm MaDonna Bella. I'm a guide. I also have been collaborating in the last 25 years with the production of Rick Steves for PBS. So maybe some of you have seen me in some of the documentaries on PBS. But obviously, I'm not here to advertise myself. I'm here to share with you my passion about making wine. Our winery is very small. You can call it a family winery. We have a total production of 6,000 bottles, so we are not talking about a very big production. And the area where the winery is located is just 2 miles from the beautiful medieval city of Siena. And my brother bought it 25 years ago, and now we are producing, wine and olive oil. We also own the press, so I hope that obviously I will have the chance one day to let you taste here or at your home if you want the wine and the extra virgin olive oil that we press over here in our estate. There is something though that I wanted to share with you. The Italians and Americans have been, interacting culturally for many years. Obviously, we came to you first as immigrants, and now there are by far more Americans. Not this year, unfortunately, but there are more Americans coming to visit us. And wine is becoming, something that it's important in your diet as well in America. Now, when I lived in America with my wife, we lived there for 3 years in Atlanta, Georgia. Wine was not in the early 90s so popular in the table of the Americans. Beer was by far more consumed than wine, and the perception of wine is different also because you come from a different culture. meaning you are culturally an Anglo-Saxon culture. So you tend to look at the wine as a drink. I'm generalizing, I realize I'm generalizing. But when you go in a restaurant, or when I went to a restaurant in America, the waiter comes and says, what would you like to drink? The restaurant waiter is going to give you the menu. And when you decide what you want to eat, then you can choose your drink. And that is telling you basically that we are considering wine food, is pairing always with the food, the wine. In America, it's a little bit more of a drink, or even a cocktail sometimes, something that you, not cocktail, but aperitif, I mean, before you start to drink. And I was very curious about why our culture look at the wine differently. And then I found out, being a history buff and all, that basically the Anglo-Saxon, which were, I guess, the first people that settled in the United States, they were coming from a hunter culture originally. And the hunters couldn't talk during the hunting, otherwise the prey goes away. And they didn't have a big lunch like we do in Italy. They had a big dinner. They were forced to, because if they cooked, the fire, the noises would scare away the prey. So going back home, they had a large glass of alcoholic drink, in order to relax and be able to socialize for dinner. And when I went to my wife's family, basically in America is happening the same thing. You have you call a happy hour, and then after the happy hour you have a large meal. In Italy, instead, we come from a farmer culture, and you trust me, you can talk for hours to carrots. And the carrots don't mind. So we are very from the sun, from the heat, for 2 or 3 hours to recover energy and to recover, the spirit for working until 8 o'clock in the evening. So for us, the wine was not a very alcoholic drink originally. It was very light, very fruity, not very many tannins, because the tannins tied with protein, and people could not afford, as a farmer, many protein. A lot of the diet that my grandpa had was based on vegetables and bread. So the protein from the beans, but the carbohydrate came from the bread, for the pasta, or whatever they were eating at lunch. Basically, we are still considering the wine part of the large meal we are having at lunch, not at the dinner as in the States. Well, said that, I'm going to see if I can start again. Meanwhile, some of you can collect questions or whatever. I'm going to see if we can start again the computer connection, because I have a video to show you the farm. So let me to leave you for a second, and I will be back. Okay, so just a second.
Thank you, Roberto. Also, Bubbly, could you please post the Zoom link in our on our wine chat page? I think some others would like to join us through Zoom, just in case our live feed doesn't continue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Lori.
He spoke about his grandfather, or his father, and I remember my grandfather coming from Italy, and he was young. Came to the States when he was 11, but he was born there in Italy, in Roccadarsi, a very small village south of Naples. And he used to say, we didn't have water. We didn't have good water. We drank wine. And I laughed and I would, yeah, okay, Papa, sure, okay. But he was right. I mean, he just said it. He just said that they would eat the beans, the carbs, the pasta, and drink wine instead of water. And I went, oh, okay. No wonder he gave us wine when we were little.
So that's very delightful, and it's interesting to know how we drink wine independently of eating it with food.
Right.
And it's definitely a different cultural experience having the food with the wine. So you pair the right wine with what you're eating. So even before you order your wine, you pick from the menu.
Right.
I thought that was an interesting cultural difference.
Yeah.
And I did make sure that when Bubbly and I were enjoying our wine a couple evenings ago, that we paired it with some food. We didn't
Right.
just devour the whole bottle. I think the food ran out, but it still worked pretty well.
There he goes again.
So Roberto is actually going to take us on a tour of the winery and share with us just the experience of just being in Tuscany. We know that many of us have been safe at home for a long time, so we thought this would be a nice way to spend an early Saturday afternoon. I think it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening in
Yes.
Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're just very fortunate that the universe brought us to Bill and Lorrie and now Roberto and Bubbly and I. We had this experience. We had this time where we were just hanging out, enjoying a bottle of wine, and we came up with the idea to have the wine chat. So we just are really excited about things that we have planned for you. We've been working very hard in the background. It's amazing how many hours it takes for people to put things like this together. So I have a greater appreciation for that. Bubbly?
If I could, I'd tell you a bit about the farm. They grow their own olives there, 4 different types. They obviously have the vineyard. They have a beautiful cooking vegetable garden, everything from strawberries to zucchini to tomatoes. And again, they grow their own grain and produce their own pasta. It's absolutely wonderful stuff. One thing about Roberto and his family is they're very connected to the earth and to their land.
Delightful. Wow, I didn't realize they had all of that.
So I'm back over here, and since the computer, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, good. So what I decided to do is, since the computer is having problems, and I apologize with everybody, I tried before I worked, and I don't know why it stopped working. So I'm going to show you the farm from here, if it's okay with you. Can you see it?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, so we are seeing obviously the olive trees. As you were mentioning, we press olive oil, and we have 1,200 olive trees. And our farm is called Madonna Bella, which means the beautiful Virgin Mary, because we have a medieval fountain from 1348. This fountain was built by the monks in order to give fresh water to the women that they had the baby, in order to have a better milk for their babies. And so the name sticked there because they placed there a statue of a beautiful Virgin Mary breastfeeding baby Jesus as a sign for the pregnant women to go there and get the water. This is, I hope you can see our logo. We have a little here cart that is from 1949. And I show you a big olive tree here. Can you see the olive tree?
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, see, we just pruned it this year. We have lots of olives this year. Thank God, I say. So, see the little olives over here?
Yep.
Can you see them?
Yes.
And we planted a new vineyard this year as well. Here we go. These are the baby vines. These are Sangiovese grape, because we are in the Chianti. So being in the Chianti, we are producing Chianti Colli Senesi, which is, in our case, 90% Sangiovese, 10% Cabernet. We are regulated by the state of Italy. If you want to call your wine Chianti or another area like Nobile di Montepulciano, Brunello di Montalcino, you have to submit your winery to be controlled by the state. So you have a regulation how many vines you can have per acre. You have a regulation how many grapes you can have per vine. All these regulations are in order to obtain a high quality wine. And so at the end, when we produce the wine, after fermentation on still, after the fermentation on a barrel, we have to submit our wine to basically a committee. And this committee will tell you if you have a good enough wine to call it Chianti or Nobile di Montepulciano or Brunello di Montalcino. Whatever you produce has to be checked all the time in the cellar and in the field. And at the end, they give you a label that I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk here. See, I have some guests here today to the farm. Over here, you can see the farm. This is the building where we produce the olive oil. Here is where we produce pasta. We also have wheat. So we produce dry and fresh pasta as well.
Goodness.
And now I'm going to show you our products are over here. And over here, where to go? See? These are this is the label. I hope you can see it. Tell me if you can see that well.
Yes.
It says
Tell us,
D
Roberto, a little bit about how you do the labeling. I think it's different in different
Yes.
regions.
So the DOCG is the guaranteed product by the state. So this label is not printed by us. The state gives it to you accordingly to how many vines and grapes you can produce, depending on how many acres you have. That's how they control that. So this one, for example, is the MaDonna Bella Chianti that you saw the baby vines that are growing. Next year we have a new batch over here. This is the other wine. If you do not want to apply to the committee, then the bottle will not have the little label over here on the neck. You see, this is the wine that we decided and we guarantee the quality, not the state. And it's called Il Tesoro. This one is our very good wine. It's 50% Sangiovese, 50% Merlot, and aged for 3 years in a barrel and 2 years in a bottle.
Wow.
So it's pretty heavy wine to have. This is another wine that is very good as an aperitif. I saw the video, you drinking this. The whole bottle, girls. That's nice. It's called Giallo Siena. It's called Giallo Siena, Yellow Siena. Siena is the city that obviously we are very close by. And it's called yellow because we are very close to a marble quarry. And the marble is color yellow. So that's why we call it that way.
Oh, nice.
I hope I'm not shaking too much.
No, you're doing fine, Roberto.
Well, because I didn't drink the wine. Otherwise, I would shake more, obviously. And then we have our olive oil. Here we go. Here we go. Is our olive oil over here, just pressed. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to walk where we press the olive oil. So you can see the machine that pressed the olive oil. You got to remember that 90%, meanwhile, I walk there, show you a little bit more of the beauty of the landscape here. It's a sun, you know, under the Tuscan sun.
Yes.
So obviously it's very sunny. At the very end, you have the beautiful Siena as a skyline, the city. And now I'm walking to the press. You have to know that 90% of the olive oil is pressed by community press, but we own the only one in the whole world machine that can press the oil in your place. So here we go. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this machine, it looks a little, but cost 20,000 euros. So it cost almost a little bit more than $20,000.
And Roberto, is this is where you press all your olives for the olive oil?
Correct,
Wow.
correct. We introduce them over here, see, inside. Then there's a grinder over here where I'm putting my finger. And then after 40 minutes at a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, so very cool, not hot press, but cold press. There is no such a thing, by the way, as a hot press. All the press is always cold. And then we have a thermostat here that is going to push the paste into a centrifuge, which is over here. And then the olive oil comes from here and the paste from here.
Wow. So how many olives does it take to make a bottle of olive
You'll be
oil?
surprised. You'll be surprised. And I'm not talking about the olive, with all the respect. The olive oil is 12% of 1 pound becomes oil. Only 12%, 12, 13.
Oh, wow.
Also, we pick the olives by hand. We do, so the grapes, there is no machinery that does that. And obviously we do not let the olives fall in the ground. The oil that you see sometimes in the market that has very high acidity, because if you let the olive mature too long, then the olive oil is acid, and you cannot call it extra virgin, because extra virgin means that it has 0.8 acidity to be an extra virgin olive oil. And here is where we make the pasta. Look, I can show you our pasta. Look at that. This is a 1958 piece of furniture that I bought and I fixed myself. And we check, see, the pasta is inside. See, I open it.
Very nice.
And look, I'll show you another thing that you don't know I have it. But here we go. This is to dry the pasta. This is from 1968. Look, over here you dry all the pasta.
It's immaculate. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is my mother-in-law used it on me. This one when she. And here we keep usually the fresh pasta. As a matter of fact, look, we make a fresh pasta here. Okay? This is the machine that makes the fresh pasta. I can show you the big spaghetti from Siena. This makes the big spaghetti called pici. Over here. So this is how we want to share our wine with the food. This is our wheat. Look, we just harvested. See that?
Oh, it's so pretty. Yes.
And I show you what I found in my farm when we cleaned the medieval fountain. When we cleaned the medieval fountain, we found the medieval dishes. Look, these are all pieces from the Middle Age.
Wow, that's really nice.
This is a Renaissance one, this one in the center. So we collected that. So this is a good cocktail that has a history and obviously passion for wine. This is our kitchen. This is our one of the rack we have for wine. You see over here. Here we have the olive oil tapped here for display. These are some old furniture. And we have a professional kitchen, so sometimes we do cooking classes. And so food and wine are the same thing. Look, we just get them from the garden. Look, we have a kitchen garden.
Nice.
Look at this. Zucchini, cucumber, look at our tomatoes. Look fake. Zucchini flour. We cook the zucchini flour with the pasta. And look. Pecorino cheese.
What would you pair that with, Roberto? Which wine would we have with the cheese and the pepperoni?
That's right. You read my point to tell you. So, for example, the white, the Giallo Siena, is over here. Why white with the cheese? Usually are the red that go with the cheese, but the white is made with a grape called Manzoni, which is basically a breed between the Pinot Bianco, the white Pinot, and the Renano, and it has a very high acidity. And when a wine has a flower taste and high acidity, can go with cheese. And this is not a very seasoned cheese, it's actually from May. Now, in case you didn't know, the best cheese is from May. In Italian, cheese we call it formaggio, which is two words, forma, shaped in the month of May, maggio. So the best grass is in May, so the best cheese is this one, guys. And goes extremely well with the white wine, but also with the MaDonna Bella Chianti, because the Chianti aged only for 6 months in a barrel. And so because of that, it doesn't have so many tannins, and it is not a wine for steak. We have for steak other wines. For example, this one. When you have a steak or you have a very big roast, Il Tesoro is perfect.
That's the one I have. I got the winner.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yes, it
You're
is.
very lucky.
I
But
like that.
this is important. For example, when I went to California, just to compare our wine, you should never compare wine because, as you know, vines are changing in their DNA depending on the soil. So you can imagine when you bring one vine from here to the United States, how many different things you can find there in the soil or in the weather conditions. So let's not compare. But my first time in California, I've been there 4 times in many wineries. I was really amazed how when you go to a winery, the winemaker is telling you the wine has a little taste of tobacco, has a chocolate, marmalade. I even heard baby powder. I don't know why, but it was called baby powder taste. So it's a little bit, I felt like I was a Chanel 5 more than a winery because all these center, all these hints and all. And I'm not saying that our wine doesn't have that, but it's not predominant. What is predominant is what the vine gives you. So the oak is important, but we do not exaggerate with the toast of the wood, and we do not have American oak, which has a lot of vanilla and other centers that we do not want in our wine because our wine has to chemically match with the food. And so tannins, I give you an example so you understand better. Tannins are in the skin of the grape. So if I show you this, you can see the tannins are in the skin and also they are in the seed. And what the tannins were used in the past, still today, is in order to make leather. So what happened is that the tannins, they stop the enzymes from decomposing. So when lots of Americans have a headache, I had 25 years of touring with Americans. A lot of them tell me that they have a headache when they drink wine. Well, the headache is because if you drink a wine without the food and you put that one in your stomach, what is happening is you are inhibiting your juices. You are stopping the enzyme from breaking, whatever you eat. And so you're having a bad digestion, basically. That's why it's very important also when you have a wine with a lot of tannins to have the proper food first and you drink the wine with it. So you will not have that side effect. And so it's not the sulfite, as you always hear, they give you a headache. It's not that, it's actually the tannins. That's why lots of people don't have it with a white wine, since white wine doesn't have that.
Ah, okay. Now, Roberto, I noticed you have the wine stored there. Are you at a certain temperature? How should we store our wine? We don't have that fancy farm of yours.
No, we have basically all the wines have to be held at 15 degrees Celsius. So on the 70s in your case.
Thank you for
So
that.
we keep them obviously an air control that doesn't in this heat obviously the place. I give you another wine that we make. Go ahead. I show you another wine over here. This is a partner of ours that makes this wine. This wine won 3 times the prize as best one in the world. It's called Brunello di Montalcino. If some of you that are listening to me are wine connoisseur, they might know Brunello di Montalcino. This is a very good friend of mine. I actually filmed him on PBS in a documentary, and it's called Brunello di Montalcino. This is a very fancy wine, as one only grape, 100% Sangiovese Grosso. It's called 5 years of aging between barrel and the bottle. So 2 years and a half in a barrel and the rest on the bottle. So the youngest vintage would be right now 2015, just to give you an idea. And also, I'll show you the last one that we produce over here. And this is very important for me because I name it. So If I name it, must be good.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Is
of
it
course,
called
right?
Roberto?
No. I'm not like Alexander the Great that was naming every city after him.
It's called champagne.
Super Tuscan.
That's the bottle I have.
You got
It's
the,
a winner too.
you got the Super Tuscan.
I want Roberto to tell the people a little bit about the barrel, about them putting it in the barrel and the you know, aging with the oak, because I did a little research about the oak. I want him to kind of elaborate a little bit more about oaking the wine and putting it in the oak barrel and that kind of stuff. I hope you hear me.
Imagine he speaks. This is a Vino Latte.
Again, thank you guys for joining us, everybody who's joining in, and we appreciate everyone, Michelle and Penny and all of our friends who are joining in with us today on Facebook. Hope you're enjoying the tour.
Yes, and Michelle, I think I saw your question. You wanted to know if you stored the wine, the red wines at a certain temperature. From what I understand, Roberto's saying you store it at 15 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Correct. Yeah. And that would be the red.
Yes, the reds.
Now, someone asked a question about cold refrigerating, putting the red wine in the refrigerator.
He's back.
Can't hear him.
Oh, Roberto, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Roberto.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I here?
You're
All
back.
right.
Yes, you're here.
Sorry.
answer that.
Basically, to answer to your question, the wine should never, ever go in the refrigerator because of the humidity the refrigerator has. It's not correct. And also, usually is much colder than you're supposed to, unless you have not a refrigerator, but you have one of these that we call a cantini. They are small temperature control, you know, almost furniture, if you wish, that you can put the wine in it. And then you can regulate them. Some of them that you buy, they have two different sectors. One for the white wine, which has to be kept to a much colder temperature. So usually you're talking about on the 58 to 59 Fahrenheit for the white. Meanwhile, the red, as I told you, should be always served at room temperature, but has to be stored on the temperature 72, basically.
Okay.
Which is 15, I believe, in Celsius.
So how do we get our white wine cold?
As I said, the white wine you can keep it in the refrigerator.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it goes to 50, can stay at 50, 55 easily.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the red never in a refrigerator in your kitchen, but in a cool place.
Okay.
What really is damaging wine is light and heat. This is usually for the red I'm talking about.
Yes.
This is because the tannins that are inside the bottle, they preserve the wine for so long. You have to remember that our wine, averagely, they can age for 10 years easily. And some, like the one I showed you before, the Noble de Montepulciano Brunello, even 25 years they can age in the bottle. And they can do it because they have tannins inside. And these tannins lose their power in the time, but if you heat them with the heat, or you give them too much light, obviously that's not good for the wine.
Okay.
So no temperature shocks for the wine. As a matter of fact, when we send it to you, we don't send it by boat. We send it by air because we know it's kept in a cool place.
Very nice. I think Bubbly had a question about the barrels.
Yes, the barrels are in order to add some tannins to the wine, but also to smooth the tannins. This is because through the wood, besides passing to the wine a little bit of the toast flavor that is in the barrel, you have a passage of air that pass through the wood. And this is a nanoparticle of oxygen that pass, is heating the molecules of the tannins and make it smoother in your palate.
Mm-hmm.
If you drink wine like our Chianti with no food in your mouth, you feel an astringency. And when you feel an astringency when you drink the wine, it's because you had no other protein besides your saliva protein. And what happened, the tannins make precipitate the protein in your saliva and you feel the astringency. But if you have a wine that aged for a long time in the barrel and a long time in the bottle, because remember, in Italy, we use the cork, we don't use the plastic one, because we want the interaction between the oxygen and the wine pass through the cork.
Okay.
If you put the plastic one, we stop that process. So the aging of the wine in the barrel and in the bottle, it's very important to smooth the tannins. So you still have them there, many, but they don't, they're not so aggressive to your palate. So the young wine, the one that don't age long in the barrel, they are very good with the Parmesan cheese, for example. If you have a big piece of Parmesan cheese, your saliva will not be able to cement almost the cheese. It's so thick, so big. But if you have young tannins there, this astringency that you felt in your palate disappear, ties with the protein of the cheese, and you have a clean palate at the end. So as I was explaining to you before, each wine is made for our food.
Okay.
And that's how we conceive them. Keep in mind that in Italy, we have 600 varieties of vines.
Wow.
Wow. So
We have
Roberto, are you saying if I eat with my wine, I won't gain as much weight because it will dissolve the fat?
No. Protein.
That's hopeful, wishful thinking.
Hey,
That's
good.
I know it myself. The wine doesn't do miracles on me. It doesn't let you lose weight. It doesn't let you grow hair. So that's a fact. But when you go to the mirror and you had a very good glass of wine, you are not so depressed when you look at yourself. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me, obviously, not about you. You don't need it.
Because we can't see straight.
Yeah, that's right.
But in any case, in Italy, we don't consume much of the wine in the sense that we have it in moderation. Maybe we have it every day, but in moderation. Because we know that you needed to build with the wine your spirit, and you need not to lose your mind. The ancient people that lived in Tuscany, they always realized that the only way to connect your instinct to your mind is through the wine, because the wine doesn't let you be instinctive. At the same, it helps you to think about when you make a decision what to do, so you're not instinctive like an animal, and it's connecting your mind with your heart as well. So you have feelings, and that's what we do when we all eat together, you know, in a family and on. That's exactly what we do. We enjoy the company. If when you come to Italy, you see the people in the square chatting. You go to a restaurant, you see children in a restaurant. In America, you see them too. But if you go to a classy or a little bit more fancy restaurant, rarely the Americans bring their kids with them, especially the little. In Italy, it's important that the family enjoy a season from when they're little, that we share the wine with the food, with the friends, and we talk and we enjoy life. Like you do that in America too, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, for us, the wine is the glue that connects friendship. That's why I'm so thankful that you invite me at this Zoom, because I always hope you and I, we are the bridge You know, like the friendship I have with Bill, it's a bridge that we built between your beautiful country and mine. And when you have a bridge, the people meet. And the best way is to appreciate our differences in appreciation of wine or in anything, is to meet. If we don't meet, we might misunderstand each other.
Yes.
Yeah, we miss a lot.
Yes. And
I am thoroughly enjoying this tour. I mean, you just have a beautiful facility. The facility is just, I mean, really breathtaking, and we really want to be there. We actually just want to reach out and just be there with you today.
Be there. Yes. And we really can't wait until we can be there.
I am so sorry that the video we can do is so that everybody will be able to see from my drone the whole farm, the vineyards and everything with a drone. Let's do that, so that I'm sorry it didn't work today. I tried that before and I don't know what happened.
Well, that's okay, Roberto. What you showed us today was quite beautiful.
Yes.
And we look forward to the next opportunity to share and just experience Tuscany. And we can't wait till we can actually physically be there. But until then, we will still continue to share virtually.
Well,
meanwhile, I hope it's... Go ahead.
No, before you go, Roberto, I just wanted to ask was one more question about the olive oil with the bread. Like, I know that's kind of a technique of eating the bread with the olive oil and spices and that kind of stuff. Is that an Italian culture?
No, that's American. That's American. That's definitely American.
Oh, really?
The olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil I'm talking about, because there are so many oils, trust me. And there is another thing that you need to know. The FDA in America, it doesn't check if the olive oil is extra virgin or not. So when it comes to you, it might say extra virgin. Some, I have severe doubts that they are extra virgin. But in any case, the oil is another coolant between the foods. I'll give you an example so you understand better. When you go in a restaurant in America and you ask for a salad, the waiter comes and says you have a choice of ranch, Thousand Island, blue cheese, and others. Meanwhile, in Italy, we put only olive oil. Why you put a sauce in the salad and we don't? Because having a farmer culture and having a biggest biodiversity in the world, Italy has 865 pear trees, 700 apple trees. We have so many varieties of foods. In order to glue in a salad all these vegetables, we put olive oil. If you have not a very good tomato, not a very good carrot, then you put a sauce in it in a way to make the salad taste better. But when you have our tomatoes, you have like here, see, really they look fake, but they're real tomatoes from our garden over here.
Just sweet.
I'll show you. Here we go. See if it works. Let me a second. All right. When you have these zucchini, you have a cucumber, you have these red tomatoes. How you glue them together with the olive oil is the only way how to do it. You want to taste the tomato, you still want to taste the zucchini. So the olive oil helps to eat things together. And not by itself, really. And the dipping into the bread and the olive oil, what it does, especially if you do it before lunch, you are filling your stomach with it. It's like a sponge full of olive oil, and then you can appreciate all the other courses.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Now,
Wow,
in Italy,
that's
we have,
American. I didn't know that was us not doing it the right way. That's why we have to bridge the gap to all of these countries to learn other people's cultural differences. And, you know, I don't know whether there's a wrong or a right way, but
no,
It just enhances our experience.
Right.
it just
Well,
enhances our experience.
Yeah.
I can give you a historical example. When the Italians came to America as immigrants, they were farmers originally when they came from here. And the farmers had to eat courses. You see what I'm saying? We were used to have courses.
Yeah.
Now, when you work as a miner in West Virginia, or you work in the rail station. In America, when they came, they had half an hour to eat lunch. So what they did, they took a first course and a second course, like a spaghetti and meatballs, which you don't never find in Italy. They are a perfect example how you can have a first and second course in half an hour. So all these traditions that you see in America, some, they come from the immigrants, which had to adopt their habits with the new society where they lived in. And so some of the dishes that you find called Italian in America, they have been changed by the people that lived in a different environment.
Right.
So as you take us, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm sorry. One of the big things we noticed when we would go to a restaurant in Italy is essentially when you are seated at your table, it's your table for the night. There is no rush to turn the table over or anything. It's absolutely a wonderful experience to sit and enjoy your food and enjoy the company of the folks you're with. It's wonderful.
Well, you know, when I lived in America, in Atlanta, Georgia, I was a restaurant general manager. And the waiters wanted the table to move because they were getting tips. And so in Italy, the waiter don't get tips. They get a salary. So they don't rush you to, you know, to get out from the restaurant. But also the owner knows that you are there to appreciate the company too. In Italy, you notice, Bill, because you have been there, the people even talk between tables, even if they don't know each other.
Yeah.
It's
Well, Goldie, I just want to say my cousin is on here, but she loves to go to Phipps Plaza, to all the restaurants at Phipps Plaza, and Roberto used to be the manager at a restaurant, and the Italian restaurant at Phipps Plaza, and I believe Goldie has been to that restaurant because she's probably been to all the restaurants at Phipps Plaza. But anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Well, you know, I had both experience of working in the restaurant in America and work in Italy, and I saw what a big difference there is between the two. So that's why, again, I feel I can build a bridge, you know, because I lived in both countries. I married a beautiful American woman, and so I always felt I had to make you and the Italians understand better the other culture. You know what I mean? I have bilingual children, so they were born with two cultures inside of them. And I think it's fantastic that the people...
Well, before I turn it back over to Spirit, was Spirit correct when she said she tasted a note of apples in our white wine we were drinking the other day?
Yes, but more than the fruit are the flowers that are in every white wine that you have with no aging in oak at all. You have this flowery and a little bit pear or apple, one or the other. Usually, depends on the vine, obviously. But what is very present in the white wine, for example, in the Giallo Siena, is Scotch broom. When you put your nose in it, that's what you smell. This perfume when it's blooming, or jasmine sometimes you can get as well, a little bit of the jasmine. And then when you taste it, yes, at the end you have either a little of the pear, a little bit of the apple in the white wine generally. And in our, you are right, the apple is more present than the pear, for example. But obviously you don't get, for example, the vanilla that you get in the Chardonnay.
But it was that floral. I just didn't know how to describe it. So now I know the notes, and very nice, lovely.
When you get our red, you get the wild cherry. The Sangiovese, which is the predominant grape that makes our wine, has this very wild cherry in spirit. You know, sometimes you can eat those cherries that are in spirit. When you taste that, that's what you get. You know, and some of the wine, like the Tesoro, which is the super Tuscan, they stay a long time in your palate.
Oh,
they really are persistent in a way. So don't taste our wine without the food, because if you do it, you don't appreciate as well. You know, you just have to pair it with the meat for the all the reds, obviously, chicken, roast chicken. We have it with the wild boar, because we have a wild boar in Tuscany, and in America, unless you are in North Carolina, you don't find many wild boars, or whatever. So but usually the gamey or the duck, for example, the duck is very oily, so you may have with the duck the Chianti. It will go very well because the astringency I was telling you about, that sometimes bothers your palate. If you have the wine with the no food, will perfectly match the duck.
Very nice. Well, Roberto, this has been just an incredible experience. And we're going to open it up to, we just thank you so much for your hospitality. It's been incredible, really. And we can't wait to for our next Zoom tour and next adventure where we feature you and the Italian culture. And we were looking forward to seeing Bill and Lorrie on the farm in September.
Yeah.
It was a joy to be with you today.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
I also want to mention that Roberto is probably going to be one of our correspondents from around the world on the wine chat. And he'll be showing up from time to time to show you maybe some markets and all kinds of stuff that's going on in Italy. And so we'll be featuring him. And so look out for our posts when everybody's going to be like, when is Roberto coming on? When is Roberto coming on? So we have to, make sure that we let you guys know. So this isn't the end of Roberto. He's going to be a part of the wine chat going on.
Yes, and we'll have on our page an opportunity for you to purchase wines from MaDonna Bella, and he's been generous enough to give us a coupon code. So please, please do that so you can enjoy these fabulous wines.
Thank you. And doing that, obviously, you help a small winery to survive today, as you know, with the COVID and all that. We have no tourists here, basically. And we are, surviving like you're doing at the home, hoping that 2021 will be a much more beautiful year than this one.
It will be.
Yes, it will be.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Americans like to buy a lot of wine now, so.
Yeah, right.
But my pleasure is to know, like the other day when I saw the little filming you did it together, thinking about seeing the grapes here maturing, and then see them on the other side of the pond, making two ladies like you enjoy your time. It's just magic for us. So it's not just the economical part of selling our wine. The best is to know that what to be produced goes to somebody that we know. That's our goal in a way. You will never want to disappoint somebody that you know. So that challenges us to make better wine every year.
Perfect.
So with that, we thank everyone for joining us. And always remember, and don't forget, when you come to the wine chat,
You are going to get the bubbly and
enrich your spirit.
like they say in Tuscany, Roberto,
Arrivederci.
arrivederci, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you. This was great.
Bye, Berta.
Bye, Deborah. Bye, Velda.
Thanks.
Awesome experience. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.